Hey everyone, welcome to Jojo's World.
Good midday.
Good morning.
What? No, it's midday.
I'm Liam S. Smith, one of your co-hosts.
And I'm Nick Ballantyne, the other one of the co-hosts.
This is our podcast where we talk about... What?
just normally we say what the name of the podcast is, but now we're professional.
This is Jojo's World, our podcast where we talk about a little anime called Jojo's Bizarre Adventure. The little anime that could. Could what, you ask?
I don't know. It can do nothing.
Do just about anything.
Literally everything and anything is possible in this world.
I'm Liam S. Smith, one of your co-hosts.
And I'm Nick Ballantyne, the other one of the co-hosts. Again.
Did we already say that?
We did.
Well, now you know.
See, I offered you tea, Liam. I offered you the tea. The highly caffeinated beverage. But you turned me down. Now I am the one who has the brain good.
Maybe we should restart this episode.
Never.
Okay, I'm Liam S. Smith, one of your co-hosts.
Nick Ballantyne, the other one of the co-hosts. Yep.
What are we doing today, Nick?
We are talking about Jojo's Bizarre Adventure.
That's right. Specifically, episode 36 of Jojo's Bizarre Adventure, Part 6, Stone Ocean, entitled Made in Heaven, Part 1. Of how many? Well, no more than 3, based on how many episodes are left, because we're in the home stretch.
Yeah, I'm like pretty jazzed about like everything that happened in this episode as well.
This episode covers a motley selection of pages and chapters.
Oh god, okay.
It covers pages 16 through 19 of chapter 148.
Okay.
All of chapters 149 through 151. And pages 2 through 13 of 152.
That's a really weird mix
Yes.
of pages. Yeah. Why? So what was the first one?
Pages 16, so just the last few pages of chapter 148.
Yeah.
Which makes sense because they were just ended mid-chapter last time.
Right, okay.
And then the missing page 1 of chapter 152, I would wager, is probably in that cut around the world of various time phenomena happening. I know that there were at least 1 or 2 characters who were omitted from that, so my guess would be that would have been a page that those characters were on.
Right, okay. Very strange. Very weird. But good app.
Good app.
Fucking great app. Very JoJo's.
Very kicking off. Very things are happening. Very Father Pucci achieving his dark apotheosis.
Very, is this what attaining heaven was the whole time? Because if it was, okay, not really the big game changer I thought it was going to be. But
Nick,
all right.
Things are going faster now, don't you understand?
Things are going so much faster.
Because of gravity and time and magic.
I think I said probably like...
And also the power of God.
Yeah, I think I said like 4 times. If relativity is mentioned, I'm going to lose my shit.
And it wasn't.
It wasn't though, so props
But it's
to
also
Araki.
not mentioned.
Oh boy, here we go. Okay, sure. Hey, speaking of not mentioned, do you know that we have a Patreon?
I don't.
We have a Patreon at patreon.com/Jojo's.
Patreon, the service that gets better and better every day.
Oh god. Literally, I got a notification on Patreon that was like, hey, did you know that you can actually charge patrons? I was like, yeah, no shit I can. What would the point of this entire platform be?
What do you think, we use this endeavor for fun?
Like, I would just stop using you if I could, but hosting fees. But we have a new patron.
Who is it?
Why, it is All-Father Gambler.
All-Father Gambler.
All-Father Gambler.
That's a JoJo-ass name if ever I've heard one.
Howdy, my name's All-Father Gambler.
Maybe you've met my son, Darby.
So
That's right, Jotaro, I'm here for your soul.
So in this scenario, All-Father Gambler, because
The father of Darby the Gambler.
who was Darby Senior.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he is still technically a Darby, but he's Darby Senior.
Well, they were brothers, the other two, not father and son.
Are they?
Yeah.
Oh. All-Father Gambler
On
had
account of
two
how they were
sons.
both adults.
That does. Wait, no, you can have a son and then
No,
both-
father and son can never be adults at the same time.
One is either gone or they're a child. That makes sense. What about...
That makes sense.
One more thing. What about if...
Been watching Columbo while I edit the podcast lately. It's still good.
Look, it's always going to be good. Whenever you see a guy who's putting on a ruse, like All-Father Gambler, for example.
I watched the second episode recently in which a private detective tries to blackmail a woman to use her her husband's newspaper connections to give him private investigation information. Oh my God. And she refuses, so he murders her. And then Columbo has to solve it.
The case that he was murdered? That
Yeah,
she was murdered over?
Yeah, Columbo typically solves the murder.
Right, okay, that does make sense. But, like, hang on. So Columbo has to solve the murder of the lady that got murdered who was looking into a case of her own.
No,
Okay.
she was getting blackmailed by the private investigator.
Ah, okay. But then does Columbo also solve the case of the private investigator doing stuff?
No. Well, I mean, the case of the private investigator doing stuff is that he murdered her.
That does make... Yeah, okay, that does...
And he solves that.
And you know what else we solved?
Patreon.
Father Gambler. Thank you for your support.
Thank you for giving me another excuse to talk about Columbo, starring Peter Falk as Columbo.
Peter Falk, what a name. All Father Gambler.
All Father Gambler. Father Poochie. All Father Poochie.
But enough about fathers.
Let's talk about fathers.
Jotaro
Father's
and
Day
Poochie.
is coming up.
Oh God, is it?
No.
Oh, thank God. If it was, I'd be like, oh no.
We kick off with a lengthy recap of where we were last time. We see Poochie going through the space shuttle again, the whole stopping time and throwing a harpoon at him.
He's messiahing.
He's messiahing around. He's returning to his home planet
Of space.
in his spaceship. He dies on the way back to his home planet.
Excellent. Jotaro throws a harpoon. It sort of hits him, but not quite.
Takes out a good chunk of his ear, but doesn't... Anyway, so then that scene continues, and we see that somehow Anasui has gotten onto the flying space shuttle.
Which is one of the most Jojo things where they're like, oh look, while we weren't looking, Anasui got up there.
And he instantly kills Father Poochie and solves everything.
Well, in a manner of speaking, he does, but he doesn't.
He says, eat this, dive her down. And he takes control of the space shuttle and dives her down back to the ground.
That makes sense.
No, he goes to punch Poochie, but then in a shocking twist of irony, something emerges out of his arm for once.
And he's all like, what?
And we get our first of many unclear glimpses at Father Poochie's newsstand, Made in Heaven, named at the end of the episode.
It's real weird. It's
Yeah,
like
do
a
you want to
horse-
just talk about its appearance now?
Yeah, so it's like a horse riding,
yeah.
bandaged...
So imagine the front half of a horse.
I'm imagining it.
And then instead of having the body continue into the back half of the horse's body, it instead tapers upwards into the torso and head and arms of a humanoid thing.
Like some kind of bad centaur.
Yeah, it's like if you misunderstood what centaurs were.
You're just like, so it's half man, half horse.
Okay,
Gotcha.
so it's like the front half of both of them?
Yeah, it's like a horseman, like a cat dog, you know?
Yeah. Horseman. Horseman.
Wait, does it still have the
It has
horse
no
legs?
back half horse.
Interesting.
Just the front half of the horse.
Does it have...
And the guy, and they're both covered in clocks.
But does it have legs of any kind?
Yeah, it's front horse legs.
Okay, so it has front horse legs.
It's got
but
two
no,
hooves.
Yeah, but no back horse legs.
No.
Does it have human limbs?
It's got two arms.
Two arms. Two arms, two legs.
It's got the normal amount of human limbs, but some of them are in the way you wouldn't expect.
It's just like a human being. Two arms, two legs,
Yep.
a face.
It looks just like EGF 6 coming spring, our autumn 2024.
Get hype.
Get hyped.
We are the valiant infantry. Something, 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 something.
This weapon of light can kill anything, even gods.
God.
It's a good game. Play EDF 5 with us.
It's so good. It's like that whole game, which we've talked, I think, at length about, is so bad and yet so impressively delightful.
I don't know where the bad stuff comes in, Nick.
It's not what I would call an accomplished masterpiece of design, and yet it
Why not?
is.
You got 4 different classes.
Yep.
You collect their weapons. You upgrade their weapons.
They make bigger bang. You keep shooting everything until
Especially
it die.
Giant monsters, aka bugs.
It's just they look
Frogs
just like
that look
humans.
just like humans.
Frogs? What? No, they look like humans. We'll call them
Let's see what else
humans.
is there. There's the big greys in heavy armor.
Yep, which don't look like humans at all.
No. The flying frogs that do look like frogs.
Wait, the flying frogs? Which one were the flying frogs?
They were like
I remember.
winged frogs, essentially.
I remember the winged aggressors. I don't remember the flying.
They were
frogs.
bees.
Bees? No.
They don't
no,
allow
that's-
you to have bees in
that
here.
doesn't
They
sound
let
right.
you have winged aggressors.
I just love they try as hard as they possibly can not to say ants,
Spiders.
bees, spiders. Like what were the spiders called? Like
I don't remember.
I don't know. But anyway, none of that matters because
at the end you kill God.
it's just incredible. So this horseman motherfucker
Yep.
starts coming out of Anasui's arm and is all like, whoa.
And there's glorious light everywhere. His head has like a big either like beehive or turban on it wrapped in green bandages.
I know that
He's alabaster white.
he has a lot of clocks.
A lot of clocks.
Like a
This
lot
guy
of clocks.
knows the time.
I don't know if he knows the time. Like, they're in very inconvenient positions. Like, if
He's got someone in the back of his hand.
Does he? I take it back.
That hand is busy holding the horse's reins. And if he wasn't holding the horse's reins, that thing would be going nuts.
Yeah, he'd be looking at it non-stop being like, what is this? But, like, some of those clocks, like, one of them is literally in his chest. And I'm just
One
thinking
on
to
his
myself,
forehead, there's one on the horse's forehead, so that
Yeah.
the horse also knows what time it is.
I'm just like, well, actually, no, now that I look at myself, I'm like,
Yeah,
oh,
you can see your chest.
Yeah, actually, fair enough. Never mind.
But you'd have to read upside down.
But you just put the clock upside down.
Don't be silly, Nick. Then how would people looking at you know what time it was?
True. I'd show them the back of my hand.
I love that 30 Rock joke where Tracy Jordan is like, don't talk to me like that or I'll show you the back of my hand. And he holds up the back of his hand and there's a note taped on it that says, please be nice to me.
Beautiful. We'll always compliment 30 Rock on this podcast.
Light explodes everywhere. Everyone's like, oh no. And then everything goes white. And when they all regain consciousness, they're about 200 meters from where they were before.
Something has gone awry.
Yeah. The space shuttle is back on the ground. Father Pucci's nowhere to be seen. And they're all on the other side of the large theatre than they were before. They are next to the Earth shop.
Is it the Earth Cafe or the Earth Shop?
No, it was Natural G Cafe. It was the Earth
True,
shop.
true. Neither of which...
We
at this
love
point-
all of the institutions at the Kennedy Space Center Visitor Center.
I want to know if they're real as well, because that would be so funny if the Natural G Cafe is real.
So stupid.
Like if Araki went there and was like, Natural G, yes, I am going to put this in my acclaimed manga.
Big Natural G.
It's like, oh, where'd you go? Went to the Earth Cafe? Oh, you should
Earth Shop!
Damn it, Earth Shop! Don't sully the name of Earth Shop.
Meanwhile, Florida 18 news is on.
And he's all like, we've had some happenings.
Yeah, 2,000 people died in the incident at Cape Canaveral.
But we'll be back
That's
after
so
the break.
many.
I mean, that's all.
That's more than 9/11, I think.
Is it?
I think so. The US declares war on Christianity because of Father Pucci. How many people died
this is not the
in
direction I thought it was going to go.
9/11? Oh no, that was 2,996.
Okay.
So
So slightly fewer.
2/3 as many.
That's still a shit ton of people. Like, that is a lot of people to die.
Yeah. I guess, like, if a plane flew overhead, everyone in that plane is dying.
Yeah, but that's still
But I
not...
suppose you wouldn't have a lot of flight paths over the space center, would you?
No, but also, that still wouldn't be, like, 2,000 people. That'd be, like, 100-something people. Let's put on our...
How many people work at Kennedy Space Center?
Let's put on our engineering safety hats.
I don't have one of those. Is it like a hard hat?
It's more like a wizard's hat, but it's got high vis on it.
And numbers.
And numbers. So if there's like a couple hundred people on a plane and it crashes into Florida at the Kennedy Space Center, would that kill 2,000 people?
Well, how many people would have been in the Space Center as well?
Probably like a couple hundred. So probably not 2,000 people.
It's a big space
So
center.
this isn't-
It's a big space center, Nick. Remember,
Yeah.
it's like 4 square kilometers or something.
Yeah, so this is well, I mean, it's not going to be packed out with people though, because
No, I
the
suppose
tourist
not.
center's over here.
Yeah.
What? How many kilometers? Like 10 kilometers away.
I don't
from-
remember, yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, even if you crashed into the Kennedy Space Center, this is a weird conversation.
2,000 people died.
Noteworthy for the news. But we'll tell you more after the break.
Yep, so everyone wakes up and they're like, what was that? Where's Anasui? What's going on? Where's the priest? And Anasui crawls out from under a table and he's like, Jolene, you really do care about me. I'm so touched. But let's talk about Father Pucci.
Which Anasui, for the rest of this episode, does not focus on the job at
Not
hand.
at
but
all.
That's okay. Jotaro's...
Jotoro's got his mind on the task. He's task-oriented.
Yeah.
They talk about how they're on the other side of the center. They speculate that, like, I guess when gravity returned to normal,
Shit got fucked.
we just got shunted in the drift, It's never really addressed. It's fine. Doesn't
Yeah.
really matter in the grand scheme of things.
2,000 people
Jolene's
just
inside-outedness is also back to normal.
Inside-outed. Oh, yeah, that's
She was dying from being inside out.
True, and so she made some Mobius loops.
Yeah, she
now-
doesn't have those anymore. Doesn't need them anymore. She got lucky.
Yeah, okay. So then Hermes, I think, is like, oh, fuck this. I'm going inside. It's crazy out here.
It starts to rain.
And all of them are like,
Rain.
rain. And we think nothing of it. You know, we think, oh, okay, just a normal
Just
day
a
for
normal
rain.
Bit of Florida rain. Father Jotaro reflects for a second. I can't believe he saw my harpoon. It was a really cool trick that I learned from my enemy Dio, and I also beat it, but then so did he.
He's Jotaro'd me.
How
Jotaro.
ironic.
Oh, that bastard.
Hermes's theory is that everything about attaining heaven, or rather, loopholing the system to attain heaven early was a bluff to get away.
It was all bullshit. That Father Pucci bullshitted
I could
us
see the
with.
wires pulling up the space shuttle. It was all smoke and mirrors.
Look, if you believe that the moon landing was done with a space shuttle, you're clearly mistaken.
How was it done?
It was done with
A magical stand.
Look, it was done with a guy who wanted to bring his daughter back from the dead.
The pet cemetery?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah, so she strikes this pose where she's like cocked at the hips and holding out her hands like, I'm doing stand-up comedy.
It was all bullshit.
He used trickery to deceive us so that he could hide, but we'll get him. I'm going to go inside now. And Jotaro says, no, don't go in there.
That's a terrible plan.
Stay in an open area so that you can't get it. Oh, we're all soaked. We're all soaked from that brief sprinkle.
How weird. That's a weird thing to happen for
well,
something that took like 5 seconds.
Very curious. Anyway, now we're all dry.
Hermes comes out and is like, hey, what are you guys talking about?
And the automated doors slam hard shut on her ankle.
And she's all like, motherfucker!
Fucking hell. They open up again. She manages to pull her foot out before they slam shut once again. And she says it's moving like a hydraulic press. You ever watched something be hydraulic pressed, Nick?
I have. Hydraulic presses, from what I understand, don't move that fast.
No, but they are very forceful, aren't they? They'll crush a Furby like nothing else.
They will.
I've seen that.
I've seen many things get crushed by a hydraulic press, then followed by what I want to say is a delightful Austrian man going, ho, 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 ho. Did you see that? And then
And you say, yes, I did.
And then you're like video. And then he'll get something else and be like, look, underneath there is something that, I don't know why I sound like this with this accent, but he'll just be like, there is something underneath this that is stuck to a press because we just crushed it. Is that not incredible? Let's do it again. And then they crush another thing and you're like, oh man, this guy, he gets it.
Hermes scrabbles next to the Earth Shop sign to get away from the door.
Which on top of it
is a large rock.
A large piece of earth.
Yeah. So big that even Jonathan Joestar could lift it.
No, surely not. God. So Anasui's like, oh, look out, that rock's gonna hit you.
Yeah, it's looking a bit precarious. Oh, it's collapsed on your head, and for a second we all think you're dead.
Like, there's a lot of blood coming out of
if Hermes just died here and now, it wouldn't be that different from how Narantia went out.
How did Narantia go?
King Crimson did his thing and just chucked him on a heap of spikes off screen.
Chucked him on a heap of spikes. I remember
They were in
Abakio
like the Colosseum or whatever, and he just did his King Crimson thing, and they're like, oh, where's Narantia? Oh, there he is. He's impaled by multiple spikes and bleeding out.
Oh, maybe I vaguely remember. The only thing I remember from that entire fight was Polnareff being like, I'm
He's
a
coming
turtle
up
now.
the stairs. He's coming up the stairs. You don't remember Giorno Giovanna shooting a beam that turns things into scorpions?
I remember Giorno Giovanni being all like, well, he's crazy now.
You don't remember Silver Chariot Requiem and the sun behind its head that you have to
I
punch?
remember that.
No, the sun
I
behind
remember.
your own head.
I remember everything to do with like the Messiah god of Giorno's stand being all like, well, now I can.
You don't remember everyone turning into fucked up little monsters for a little while for no reason?
No, I don't remember that.
Okay, that happened. Like that one Rick and Morty episode.
Oh god. Just being all like, guys, how do we get out of this? I don't know. All I know is I'm Giorno and I'm not dying here because my mob needs me.
Yeah, I need to stop the drugs.
I'm the good gangster. So Hermes might be dead.
Yeah.
Slim and small chance.
She's got a concussion, if nothing else.
She's straight fucked.
Meanwhile, on the news...
The guy's like, thank you, we're back from the break.
We have a developing story on the State Road 405 incident at Cape Canaveral. Oh, my apologies. I almost skipped the break. What? The break's over already? And now the sun's going down.
And everyone for a brief moment is like, seems a bit odd that we've been out this long, huh? Yeah.
Meanwhile, in an ice cream shop, this little Veruca Salt girl is like,
God.
I want chocolate nuts, caramel, strawberry chocolate chips and mint. I want it now, Daddy.
What is with this child's face? Like,
She looks slightly 40.
slightly 40?
Yeah. She looks like a Kathy cartoon.
She looks like a grotesque, malformed human being.
I want a golden goose.
But worse than that, so much, like, at least that had a human, like, feature to it. This is like a dodgeball given form.
So she pays $6 for her 5 different flavours of ice cream in a single cone, and in the time it takes the ice creameria to hand her the cone, the sun starts to go down, and as she goes to lick it, it's all melted on the floor.
Like some kind of...
Like tears in the rain.
And she's all like, what the fuck?
All that ice cream will be lost like tears in the rain. Meanwhile, a baseballman is pitching really well because his pitches are so fast they can't be hit.
And the guy catching the pitcherman's pitches are all like, damn, he's
Wow,
really good.
look at this rookie go. He's just been named the #1 player of all time.
And he's
Hooray! He's got a little Joe on his hat.
Oh, the Jogers.
Yeah, we love the Jogers. They recently rebranded.
To the Jaegers?
Sure, yeah. He's drift compatible. Just like you and me, Nick.
Oh. of
Meanwhile, a child in pajamas and a weird hat.
course. A weird hat.
It's a beanie with a flower on it in bed for some
That's just
reason.
a normal beanie. It's like a...
It's reading Shonen Jump magazine
For some reason.
for product placement.
Of course.
She sneezes and there's gross snot all over her face. She goes to blow her nose, and in the time she does so, the snot hardens and the tissue is all stuck to her face.
Oh,
Ow!
I hate to see it.
Overall, I'd say she got off pretty light.
To
Meanwhile,
this guy.
Barry, a man who works in a butcher's, is instructed by an old man. So I should say this character in the manga was named Rocky. So I'm assuming this is a reference to the movie Rocky,
Okay.
where the character Rocky would punch big flanks of meat to practice for boxing.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Barry goes to,
The renowned assassin.
he wants to get out of being a butcher and get into improv.
So he goes...
To get a 20-kilogram chunk of meat, as this old man instructs him.
And then we get a real The Shining moment.
Yep. As he walks, he goes, on it, boss. And he walks into the freezer, and then we just see him frozen to death in there, in the Bigfoot pose.
The Bigfoot
You know
pose?
the Bigfoot pose?
Oh,
where
he's
you're
all like
walking
this.
and you're looking over your shoulder?
Right. Knowing that the camera is there.
But the meats aren't frozen like that.
Huh. Well, they must be frozen. Otherwise, this is a very curious butcher.
Meanwhile, back at the baseball game, someone finally got a hit off against this amazing pitcher, but he's like, oh, it's too easy. It's just a fly ball. I'm going to catch it super easy. The ball comes down so fast it knocks his jaw off.
And they're all like, oh my god, this baseball game has become a death ball
Yeah,
game.
he's just fucking dead now, and he bleeds out super fast.
And everyone's like, holy shit.
Meanwhile, an old lady and a small dog. So this old lady, super rich dowager outfit, big hat with feathers in it, fur coat, fur stole.
Giant lips.
Yep. She's a widow, I assume, from this veil she's wearing.
We can only assume.
Yep. So the widow and her small, horrible dog.
Which I, for some reason in my head, now named Pistachio.
No, that's already taken.
I know, but in my mind, that's its name because Emporio has gone back to being Emporio.
No, the dog can be Emporio.
Okay, the dog's name is Emporio because Pistachio's name is Pistachio.
Emporio and Emporia, his mother, cross the road.
Emporioso.
Yeah, Emporiosa.
Emporioso.
They cross the road and the cars are too fast. The woman's body is severed at the shoulder.
As we find out, I think it was something like a car traveling
60
60 miles an hour
would be going
travels.
Mach 2 or
Yeah,
whatever,
Mach 2.
which I don't really know how fast that is.
That's like 2,000 kilometers an hour or
Right.
something.
So spare a thought for the people driving those cars. They're not getting out of this in one piece. Much like this woman who is now in at least 2 pieces.
Yeah, Father Pucci just descends from heaven and is like, I've made it all so that no one gets out of this.
In one piece. Yo.
I'm so glad we're on the same wavelength.
Oh, we love it. I watched the live action One Piece. It was pretty good.
See, I hear it's not good.
I mean, it's
but it is
entertaining.
good. Like, it's like you watch it, you're like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like, oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah,
we
dreaming.
we can get into that because it's like, it's like terribly made, but it has charm.
The guy who plays Sanji has this accent.
Okay.
I can't decide if he's like from Liverpool or something or France.
Okay.
He's like, I'm not even going to be able to do it because it occupies such a vague space in my brain, the accent that he's doing. But he's like, hey, welcome to the restaurant. You mate, you're here to the... oh, hello, pretty lady. You want to come get some sandwich? But also just much more English than that, but also with that amount of French.
Hello. My name is Zeman. How are you doing, punk?
Let me see if I can lock in. Okay,
come on. Use your acting prowess.
I'm going to do the same impression that I always do of the Beatles, and then a second layer of them doing French.
Okay.
So there was this woolly bully, you see, and he wanted to be L7, which means cool, hello, yeah. Welcome to the Barati.
I think I'm getting what you're getting at now, yeah.
And that's Sanji, the man with a Japanese name.
That's really strange.
Is Sanji a Japanese name? I assume so.
I can't think of a single other nation other than Korea, China, maybe Malaysia, anywhere in Indonesia, actually, that would have a vaguely Japanese name like Sanji.
There is a good recurring joke in the live-action series where, because, in One Piece, and like in a lot of Australian anime, but doubly so in One Piece, people are always calling out their attack names.
Of course.
Like Gum Gum Rocket and things like that.
Because it's just a thing that we do.
There's a recurring joke where Zoro, the sword fighter character, will like raise his eyebrow at someone doing that. And they'll look at him and respond and like shrug their shoulders and say, all the best fighters call out their finishing moves.
Amazing. I love it.
It's a good joke.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, if I could, I would just yell out like what I'm doing at any given moment. Where it's like, if I was in a maths exam at
Typing enter.
Exactly. I'd just be like, if I was in like an exam at uni, I'd just be like, but wait, the derivative has to be done in order to figure out the final calculation to optimize. Quotient rule apply, and then just do like mad writing, and then everyone would just be like, oh yeah, quotient rule.
Not gonna lie, you lost me with all that maths.
So there's this thing called a quotient.
We don't need to do this. Meanwhile, 2 helicopter pilots are flying over Kennedy Space Center, and they crash and die.
All the readings were perfectly normal.
Oh my god, they're too fast.
Oh my god, we're gonna die, and then they do. That's just how that goes.
The end.
Those poor
so the protagonists are understandably confused because now the sun is going down and now it's nighttime.
And they're like,
the blood from their wounds has dried and flaked away so that Araki can stop drawing it.
And they're all like, well, I think Jotaro
looks at his Tag Heuer watch.
Please tell me it's not actually a Tag Heuer.
I think that's the logo, but it says a different brand name.
T-O-K.
Tokei, that's like
fashion brand?
I've normally seen it T-O-K-I, but that's Japanese for time, right? Because they say Toki wa tomare. So he's wearing his timepiece.
Yeah, the watch's brand name is just Time.
Yep.
Nice.
If I could get away with it, I would. Looks like a pretty fancy watch.
Yeah, I mean it makes sense because he can stop time as well. But it's like pretty good. It's rated 1,000.
200 meters waterproof.
Nice. It's rated 1,000. Whatever that fucking means.
Yeah. So they realize that time is getting faster.
And it's getting faster and faster.
Not only man-made things, but things in nature too are getting faster. So to break it down in normal people words.
Anyone that's not...
No.
Okay.
People don't recognise that time is faster for them. But for everything else, it's sped up. That includes objects and like phenomena like weather.
Yeah. Dogs, however, also seem unaffected.
Yeah, so living things are unaffected.
Okay, things with souls, which we know are canonical.
And we know that dogs have them.
Exactly.
Because every time a dog died, we spent 10 minutes watching its golden ghost ascend to heaven as some operatic voice sung its requiem.
At least the most important dog, that one from part 4, that was a golden retriever that helped protect what's her name?
I want to say Arnold?
Arnold, yes.
Big move ranking Arnold over Iggy.
Hey, look.
Whose ghost we actually did see ascend to heaven.
I thought we saw Arnold's ghost ascend to heaven.
No, every time we met Arnold, he was a ghost. But
I mean, Iggy was a bit of a dick, but in the end, he got redeemed.
Yeah.
But his face kept getting...
Classic Christian story of redemption.
Yes, the Christian fable of Arnold the dog.
I miss the part 4 gang.
Look, not a day goes by where I don't think about Koichi and his beautiful face.
We've got some friends who really dislike Koichi, and we're not afraid to disown them here and now on the podcast.
Literally, the other night we were just like, yeah, Koichi's the best. And someone was like, yeah, my girlfriend really doesn't like Koichi. And we were like, well, then break up with her. It's just basic science. Like, if you don't like Koichi, you're not a human being.
The gang look at the stars, and they've all blurred, like out of a science fiction movie, one of them says.
That long exposure thing.
Oh my god.
Time is moving differently.
And I can see Pucci moving around like he's a Goku.
Like he's a Goku?
Yeah, you know how they go...
Oh, like a Dragon Ball Z fast
Yeah.
guy. Yeah. I'm with you.
And he's like, oh no, he can move normally in the accelerated time.
But we can't.
No.
Because we're not him.
It's all relative.
Don't. So, the number of times I've said...
I know, you already said that on this podcast.
I know, but like, seriously, every time they said, oh, time's moving fast, and he's moving, like, fast, and I was like, they have to pull it out.
So Pucci didn't speak much in the accelerated time in this episode. He does a bit more in the next couple. But I just love to imagine him, like, obviously it's his stand, he can control it. But I love to imagine him having to, like, really artificially speak slowly so that they can understand him. So from his perspective, he's going, no, Jotaro.
Yeah, every time he goes into talking with him, he's like, Jesus, I took a long time. And I think...
that conversation would have lasted, like, 3 real days for him.
Yeah, I think we were, like, basically mentioning... Man, you know, like, he could have just straight up murdered them. But just like Dio, he's hugely, like, cowardly.
Yeah, his arrogance and also his
fear of
facing any consequences.
Yeah, he's just like, you know, he could just get it done, but he just can't get it done.
Jotaro stops time briefly and sees the horse and the man both peeking around separate sides of a pillar. And he's like, oh no, the enhanced time speed has shortened the ability of my stopping time.
Which is actually, I didn't think this would be a hard
counter. It doesn't make
counter.
0 sense.
Yeah, it's actually quite a good counter to he can stop time, but now he can't stop time as long.
So they all escape onto the roof of the Natural G Cafe and or the Earth Shop.
And they're all
We're not sure which one of the 2 buildings they're on.
Yeah, they're all like up
It could
there
even be
like,
the large theatre.
No, the large theatre would have
probably
a
not
much...
large enough.
Exactly. They're all up there being all like, okay, we're trapped here, we're screwed. But then Jotaro was like, no. We're not screwed. He's screwed.
And Anasui is like, no. I'm going to talk about my intentions for your daughter.
For some reason.
He's like, okay, so we're going to die. I really need to say, can I marry your daughter? Can I have your permission?
It goes on for a while.
By the way, Jotaro, I will do everything I can to protect your daughter. Yes, things may seem desperate.
That's right.
But we'll make it out of this fight.
Yes.
So please, allow me to take your daughter's hand in marriage. And
I love that he basically prefaces it with, yes, I've been accused of murder. Yes, I did kill that guy. Yes, I was
Yes,
in jail.
I loved it.
Yes,
Jotaro, let me marry your daughter. I know this isn't the right time, but I want your blessing. If I had your permission, I could be at peace.
Wakarimasen.
I don't really believe that Jolene would marry me. And it's true that I've been sentenced for murder. And I know that Jolene would never fall for me. But I'm really into that strong drive and mind she inherited from you.
Wakarimasen.
I don't know what that means.
I think it means I don't understand.
Okay.
I think that's what he said. Maybe.
She lightened my heart, which was on the verge of collapsing. Please, I need your blessing. Just one word. Please, Jotaro, please. Say it!
And he's like, the fuck are you talking about?
No, he still keeps going.
Oh, does he?
Please liberate my heart. If we make it out of this alive, allow me to marry her. And now he responds. And Jotaro says, I don't understand.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Have you lost your mind from all this madness?
I don't know if you've noticed. A madman is trying to murder us all.
At this point, Jolene comes over and it puts her hand on Anasui.
In the weirdest pose.
Just sort of like drapes her body over his front.
Like a poorly made curtain.
We need to stay together, don't wander off. And she's done a little micro-Kakyoin web to detect super fast guys with.
Yep. So it just is basically like 2 threads. just around like some air vents and
Only
stuff.
in 2 dimensions. It's one flat level on a rooftop that he could easily jump over, so I'm not really sure what she's going for here.
You'll never believe what he
We've
does later.
seen her do more impressive webs.
Yeah. But also, as we know, anyone that attempts to do the jumping maneuver will immediately die. We know this.
That's true. It happened way back in part 1 with, I want to say, Dyer.
I can't remember.
What was it called? His Thunder Cross split attack.
That immediately got shot down.
His terrible attack that always failed. Oh, we sure have come a long way.
Yeah. But now it all comes full circle.
It's just not an impressive barricade. She says, I barricaded the area with my strings, but who knows what good it will do.
It's like
There's like 4 different strings along this like 3-meter roof.
Yeah, it's like, that is not a barricade. That is at best a warning sign.
It's at best a tripwire.
Yeah.
And waist height.
It's like you could go under or over it.
Or just through it.
Or through.
And you're so fast that like it's not going to give you much advance warning on this tiny roof.
Yeah.
Say what you will about how Kakyoin got killed with his cool maneuver, but like he
thought ahead.
spread that thing everywhere over like 100 yards or whatever. I don't know how big that is.
Look, we were thinking at the time, oh, look, it's not going to work.
But it's a good idea.
Better
Credit
than
where
this.
it's due.
Yeah.
And he can also shoot diamonds from all of them.
Shit, he could have, couldn't he? Fuck.
Jolene's not shooting any diamonds, I'll tell you that much.
Oh, brutal.
If only Josuke were here.
Josuke would fix it. He'd be all like, nah. I'll just change this roof into a gun turret.
Yeah.
He may be fast, but he can't be faster than gun.
So they're all looking around. They're sure he's going to try and kill them because he hates the Joestar bloodline. Jotaro hugs everyone and says, we might be cornered, but coming up to this roof gives us the advantage because there's only so many different ways he can approach from now.
And he's just like trying to figure out what the fuck is going on.
Yeah, he does some quick maths based on the second hand of his watch. An hour passes in about 2 minutes, which is kind of conceptually difficult to wrap your head around the more you think about it.
Yeah, that means that a human life is basically like a couple days now.
If he runs at 10 kilometers per hour, which is not that fast.
10 kilometers an hour. Yeah, I guess that's like
I suppose that's
running speed.
Yeah, I suppose that's probably when I'm in my fit state. That's probably about what I manage.
I could probably only manage like 5 because I'm not a fit man.
Probably not quite there anymore. But that's not. It doesn't matter.
No, that's not the point. The point is that Jojo
If he's running
can.
10 kilometers an hour, he'll be moving at the speed of a bullet train, and that sounds fast, but you can see it. Remember, our mutual friend of the show. Georgie recently went on a trip to Japan, was telling us about the horrible train otaku they have there.
Is this the meme of the guy who's like, is it riding his bike in front of the train? And they're all like, go kill yourself, you living piece of shit. And he's all like, I'm riding my bike. Chill. And they're like, we want to see the fucking train. We only see this train every second day because our public transport services are really good. You fucking monster. He's like,
I'm driving home from work.
I'm riding my bike home to, like, what the hell, man? And they're not even like the British guy who's like, I'm very excited about seeing this train.
Foma. It's like, always get excited for a Foma, he says.
A Foma?
Because it's a steam train and the foam comes out the top.
Oh, that's nice. No, there's one where he's like, I don't know if it's like a thing he normally does, but he'll watch the train and then it'll cut back to like a 3D camera view. 3D? Like a 360 camera. So his head is just like that.
Okay, right.
And so it's like, it starts off with like, oh, look at that. That is a wonderful train.
Yeah.
And then it's back to him with his dumb big forehead.
Far be it from me to deliberately praise the British, but based on their online representation, we can agree that their train nerds are doing better than the Japanese train nerds.
Oh God, yes. Oh God, yes. Their civility is off the damn chain, which is ironic when you think about it.
He's 30 times faster than us. This is Pistachio.
Yep.
A car going 60 kilometers per hour would be going 1,800 kilometers per hour.
That's math.
And a car going 100 kilometers per hour would be going Mach 2.4.
That's math.
Correct, says Jotaro.
You remind me of an old friend of mine.
Me.
Someone that's good at math.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I got a PhD in marine biology. You don't get that without being good at math.
His stand is still evolving. He's yearning to see it evolve. And Jotaro sees something dart under one of the tables down below, outside the Natural G Cafe. So he stops time and runs over, but he can't see anything. Oh no. Have I screwed up? I can only stop time for about 5 seconds, and there's kind of a sort of refractory period before I can do it again.
So he's like...
Where is he?
He's looking around as best he can, knowing that he doesn't have long.
Good grief, he's nowhere to be seen.
And then he looks over at the palm tree.
He's in the palm tree. He's using its natural elasticity. What's the word?
Bendiness, I think, is the proper term.
Flexibility. He's using its flexibility to slingshot himself at them.
Oh my god. And it's going to go really fast.
Yeah.
Faster than any human can handle, except for him.
Faster than even a bullet train, maybe.
And so he runs out of the world time.
Yep.
He can't the world.
And he can't punch fast enough to catch Poochie in real time, by which I mean fast time.
Yep.
So he tries, he flails, he gets a big cut across his throat. We think he's dead for a moment, but we see that Diver Down has revealed its true worth in this fight, tanking the blow. Stuck its hand into Jotaro's neck.
In like a split second where Anasui was doing something. Anasui really the MVP of this entire part.
Yeah, he's doing well for himself.
Despite being an
gets
absolute
his hand
fool.
fucked up.
Yep.
But stopping Jotaro's head from being entirely severed. He's still not in a good way. His breathing is laboured, but he's not dead.
His carotid artery is definitely severed. But he does have enough time to call the world again.
Yep.
And he's all like, all right, I just have to get closer.
You took damage in my place. You served as armor to mitigate the damage. You were kind of a tank pulling aggro from Father Poochie, allowing me to do...
Think this through. What does a tank do other than tank?
Well, no, the tank just tanks.
Oh.
The DPS do damage per second, but it's in stopped time. So it's...
Damage per infinity.
Yeah. And, okay, so, yeah, he stops time again, and game recognized game. They glare at each other. We only see one of Jotaro's eyes. Shadows is under his hat. And Poochie flying towards them in stop time, his face set in a grim mask of determination. And it's like, can he see him? Unclear.
Jotaro's like crawling on the roof, desperately trying to get
5
closer.
seconds just isn't enough. I can't activate my time stop ability consecutively.
He's not doing well.
He's not doing well. He tries, he fails.
And then Father Poochie emerges.
Yep. And we see his stand for the first time. It's all its glory, as described earlier. It's covered in clocks. It's got a sort of feather collar. And
a ruff.
It's very statuesque. And Poochie is riding it, kind of.
In a weird...
Radiating purple heaven energy. Nick, let's talk about the Jojo Vele commentary for Made in Heaven.
Yay! So you said this was going to be...
It's a good one.
Okay. I can only assume it's going to be something weird like, I was at the races the other day, and I thought, horses are interesting. So I made one that was also a man.
A centaur, right? But it has 2 legs. It's a mythical creature, but it also includes mechanical elements. It accelerates time, so there are clocks all over its body.
Thank you, Araki. Yes.
Centaurs, right?
Centaurs, right? It's a mythical creature.
But it has 2 legs.
This is like the equivalent of like a scientist being all like, the sun, right? It's pretty hot. That's because it's big and hot.
It's got gravity.
But like, it's small.
From our perspective.
Yeah. Here you go. Here's a picture of the sun.
It powers certain clocks.
Here's a solar panel I made. Oh my god.
Made in Heaven.
So what, who or what is...
A fun bit of trivia about the stand Made in Heaven. In the original manga release, it was named Stairway to Heaven.
Oh.
Then in the later Tankobon release, it was renamed Made in Heaven, which is a reference to a song by Queen and Freddie Mercury.
I'm sensing a theme with a lot of Poochie's... well, not Poochie's. A lot of the end games... names now that a lot seem to be named
Bites
after
the
Queen.
Dust.
Yeah.
King Crimson.
Killer Queen. What was part 3? What was
The
World. Yeah, true.
We were doing a different thing at the time.
Yep, never mind.
And of course, going back all the way to, I want to say, the 3rd episode of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, there was, of course, Ogre Battle in Ogre Street.
The classic Queen song, Jack the Ripper.
Ogre Battle.
Oh, I remember Ogre Battle. Okay. I'm just deflecting to Jack the Ripper.
Stairway to Heaven is a song by English rock band Led Zeppelin.
One of the greats.
Released in late 1971 by Atlantic Records. It was composed by the band's guitarist Jimmy Page and lead singer Robert Plant for their untitled 4th studio album, commonly referred to as Led Zeppelin 4.
So,
Widely regarded as one of the greatest rock songs of all time.
oh, it's all right.
I don't really like it that much.
So, fun fact. Basically, because everyone who learns guitar at some point,
Yeah, No Stairway, denied.
Yeah.
I've seen Wayne's World.
literally all of them want to learn Stairway to Heaven, right?
Where it plays a good the riff plays like enough notes that you can check out the guitar, right?
Yeah, well, it's sort of like, because it's popular, the start isn't too hard, kind of, but also because it was so popular, a lot of people learned it. And so you'd walk into a music shop, and to flex your skills, you'd start playing Stairway to Heaven.
Yeah.
So now in a lot of shops, they will kick you out if you start playing Stairway to Heaven.
Still?
Yeah.
People are still playing Stairway to Heaven in 2020X.
Yeah. It's like Stairway to Heaven, Smoke on the Water.
That one.
Yep. And there's one other song that's banned in a lot of music shops. So if you walk in, you're like, I'd like to try the I think I'll go with the PRS.
Fender Stratocaster.
Yeah, I think I'll try that Fender Stratocaster, please. And then you pick it up, and you're all like, dun dun dun. They're like,
They
get out.
shoot you in the head.
Yeah, they literally will be all like, give us the guitar right now.
You've soiled it. This one has to be destroyed.
They just throw it into the fire out the back with other Fender Stratocasters.
In a January 1982 broadcast of the Trinity Broadcasting Network television program Praise the Lord, hosted by Paul Crouch, it was claimed that hidden messages were contained in many popular rock songs through a technique called backmasking.
Never trust a man named Paul Crouch.
Unreliable. Derogatory.
Just say
One example of such hidden messages that was prominently cited was in Stairway to Heaven. The alleged message, which occurs during the middle section of the song, the lyrics, "If there's a bustle in your hedgerow, don't be alarmed now," when played backwards, was purported to contain satanic references. "Here's to my sweet Satan, the one whose little path would make me sad, whose power is Satan. He'll give you 666. There was a little tool shed where he made us suffer, sad Satan." It's just nonsense.
Yeah, it feels like that's a lot of information to get out of a song played in reverse that was clearly in English.
In a California State Assembly hearing on backmasking, self-described neuroscientific researcher William Yarrell claimed the human brain could decipher backward messages. Led Zeppelin audio engineer Eddie Kramer called the allegations totally and utterly ridiculous. Why would they want to spend so much studio time doing something so dumb? Robert Plant later said, "To me, it's very sad because Stairway to Heaven was written with every best intention. And as far as reversing tapes and putting messages on the end, that's not my idea of making music."
Yeah, no, it seems like a lot of the dudes that made it were like,
stupid.
this seems pretty dumb.
You look at, like, you know, we talk, there's a lot of speculation about how the internet has made us all stupider, and like the rise of QAnon is like a herald of the downfall of our civilization.
Yeah,
and
the
stuff.
echo
But you look
chambers
back
and
at this stuff and like, no, we were always pretty dumb.
Yeah. It's like if I remember seeing some images from like, this is going to sound really weird. I was just doing some vague World War I and II image searches.
Sure, you are a white guy in your 30s.
What can I say? I've reached that point where, you know, Warhammer just doesn't do it anymore. I need to play bolt action. So
I don't want to know.
So I was looking up some World War I and II photos, and you think to yourself, well, you know, back then they were very dignified because, you know, the war was, you know, it still had the connotations of like honor and like doing the right thing for your country. And then there were some photos of some dudes getting on top of an artillery and being all like, look how big my dick is, lol. And you're like, okay, we were
That's
fucking
a pretty good
morons.
bit.
Yeah. And it's like, it's not just one. There's like quite a few where they're just like, it comes out from the middle of my pants. And they're like,
There you go.
there you go, buddy. You're a good one. It's ridiculous. But anyway.
Made in Heaven is the third single recorded by Freddie Mercury and his fourth release as a solo artist.
Oh.
Originally featured in Mercury's first solo album, Mr. Bad Guy, the song was slightly modified and published and paired with She Blows Hot and Cold.
Freddie Mercury was a solo artist?
Sure.
Huh.
Prolific, that's how I'd describe him.
Interesting. I'd have assumed that it was just with Queen, because I didn't know that he went on to do solo stuff.
Well, he also went on to die.
That is true.
What this Wikipedia page is missing that I've been entirely spoiled on by L7 and the Woolly Bully is some sort of description of what this song is about.
A deep and knowledgeable take on what the song is. Even though Freddie Mercury, whenever he writes lyrics, is like, it's whatever you make it mean, man. But unless you go to genius.com, which has way too many annotations.
When stormy weather comes around, it was made in heaven. When sunny skies break through behind the clouds, I wish it could last forever, yeah. Wish it could last forever, yeah.
You just want the good times to keep on rolling. But you can't because the economy is in shambles,
And this
Fred.
fucking priest is trying to kill me.
Listen, time's moving fast, and the cars are moving at Mach 2.4.
Poochie is there. He's glaring at them. He's standing on a sort of...
Glaring or gloating?
both.
Okay. He's on like an air vent.
And he's like, I need to kill Anasui first, not Jotaro, because Anasui can protect the others. And he says, listen closely. This may be beyond your comprehension, but I will part with this last remark. Time will accelerate. I didn't do this to kill you, but to make things better for everyone. Anyway, here I go.
It just seems weird.
He wants to bring everyone true happiness with his magical time horse. And he names it Made in Heaven, or Stairway to Heaven.
Oh my god. That's the name of the song.
Oh my god, it's the name of both of the songs.
Oh my god.
And he did.
Oh.
And that's the end of the episode.
It's a fucking hype app. Like, by the end of it, I was like,
Highlights, Nick.
oh god, now I have hiccups. My highlight is probably going to be Jotaro freaking the fuck out.
Jotaro heavy, yeah.
Yeah, like...
A lot from his point of view.
Yeah, so the bit where he's like, I need to find where he is, and then he's in the palm tree. That whole bit where he's just like, fuck.
There's not enough stop time.
There's not enough time. That's the one thing that I use to win.
My highlight is around the world, people experiencing fast time and getting into all sorts of scrapes.
Oh no, Barry!
Oh no.
Oh, he's dead forever.
Oh no, the Jaggers.
The Jaggers. Or the Joggers now?
Yeah, the Jokers.
The Joker. Joker's
Trick.
Ooh, low light.
Nick sent me a message, or put a message in the group chat the other day being like, hey, both Injustice 2 and Mortal Kombat 11 are on sale in the same pack for like 15 Australian dollars. And I was like, oh great, both of those games feature the Joker.
That was the real Joker's trick, is being in every piece of NetherRealm media for like years.
Yeah.
My low light is gonna be, because this is a conscious choice Araki had to make.
Okay.
Picking, oh no, the snot has hardened. Oh, and now my hiccups are real.
It's okay, I'm going to edit around them.
Yes. Yeah, but it's like, oh no, the tissue has hardened to my face. I'm like,
Kind of gross.
that's what you picked, Araki.
Well, I don't remember the context of it, but I saw in the anime and manga differences page on the Jojo wiki that there was also a guy who was having sex during the time fastness, and I don't remember what the implications of that were.
Oh god.
But I can imagine a few different variants.
Yeah, that's not great.
My low light is Anasui on the space shuttle at the start.
What? How
he's
is
like,
that a low light?
I got on the space shuttle. I'm going to attack Poochie now. Oh wait, never mind. We're over there now.
But like, he just spied it up somehow.
Yeah, but he didn't do anything when he was up there.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
A horse came out of his arm, but that didn't need to happen.
Well, he dived her down, you know?
Yeah, he dived him up in reverse for once. How ironic.
Somehow. I mean, it never came up ever again, but, you know, unless it does.
Well, Nick,
Yes.
time just keeps on slipping.
Yep.
You never know if you don't go. You never shine if you don't glow.
Hey now, attain heaven.
There's something about time passing in that song, isn't there? R.I.P. Smash Mouth guy.
Is he dead?
Yeah, he died recently.
Oh, God. Oh, well.
Poochie, he's too fast for them. He cut Jotaro's throat, but he's fine. Meanwhile, baseball men are dying all over the world. What will happen next time on JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 6 Stone Ocean? In the episode entitled Made in Heaven Part 2. Or as Sanji might say, Part 2.
Does he actually?
He's not that French. He just has he's got some weird ambiguous accent to me.
No, I'm from New York. You're like, okay, that doesn't. All right.
He's probably just trying to be English, not very well.
Yeah,
he might
that
even
makes
just be English. He might even just be English and mumble a bit.
He's just a guy who's like, I don't really do accents. It's like, great, you're gonna have to learn real fast. It's like, no, you don't understand. I don't do accents at all. Well, you're gonna have to learn real fast. Okay. Literally the day after they start shooting, he's like, I didn't have time to learn the accents, so I learned my lines instead. They're like, oh, okay, all right, we'll see how you go. Sanji's accent came to be. But enough about One Piece.
Forever.
So I want to say Jotaro's getting real fucked up here. Like he's getting real, real fucked up. Maybe he'll get killed. Maybe
Jotaro, not Jotaro.
Well, I mean, maybe his time's come.
But he's been with us since part 3, Stardust Crusaders.
I know, and everyone fucking loves him. But maybe.
How will he die?
He'll probably be like, okay, I'm going to stop time, the world, and then Father Pucci will be all like, in the years that I have lived, I've perfected the world as well. And he'll be like, oh, fuck. And then he'll, like, kill him in, like, not stopped time. Like, in world time. In, like, time has stopped for Jojo, but it's also, like, stopped for Father Pucci. And now they're just fighting normally. But Father Pucci will be all like, you idiot. I'm still really fast in stopped time. And just kill him with his... Is this making any sense whatsoever?
It is, I just think it's a dumb idea.
But it's like, that's something that would... Like, that could happen-ish, right? Like, that would be a thing that would happen, right? Like, that's Jojo's idea.
Sure.
Okay, anyway. So Jotaro gets killed off.
Yep.
Possibly...
Do you need to take a sec?
Maybe. Possibly. Let me maybe hold my breath. Alright, I think we're good.
So Jotaro dies. Then what?
Jotaro dies soon.
Keep in mind, 2 episodes left.
Okay, so okay. So then maybe Hermes comes up with a cunning plan.
That's right, Hermes, not our protagonist.
No. Hermes comes up with a cunning plan that won't work, involving...
It's like how so much of the fight against Dio was from other people's perspectives.
Yeah, and it's a bit like, most of them failed, except for Jotaro being like, I need to just fucking not, like...
And Polnareff also helped. Remember how little he was involved in that fight?
Just a whole bunch of it was like, everyone being like, okay, I'm going to try something. Dio being like, no, you're not. And then Polnareff being like...
I'm just going to leap out of the sky and stab you in the head.
Yeah, just being like, I'm here as well. And be like, goodbye. I mean, wouldn't it be amazing, though, if Polnareff did show up as a tortoise? Being like, my worldly form has been changed into this tortoise. It could get changed into...
And here's Giorno Giovanna.
Yeah.
So Hermes has an idea.
Yeah, I think Hermes is going to have an idea to do with the sticker. I don't know what it is, but it'll have something to do with, like, putting it on someone like Anasui, and then
The
being
decoy Anasui.
Yeah, exactly.
That's not a bad plan.
Yeah, something dumb like put it on Anasui, do something with the sticker that means, hey, no matter how fast you go, you can't outrun the sticker.
No, what you do... Yeah, that's a good idea. What you do is you make a decoy Anasui, put it out in the open, wait till he jams his fist through that, and
then sticker him.
cut his head off.
Potentially, yeah. So it has to be something like that, right? Which will fail, because he'll be too fast.
He'll be too fast. Then what?
So then Jolene will be like, wait a minute. I beat him with a Mobius strip. I can beat him with relativity.
String theory.
Exact. I reckon it's going to be something dumb like string theory, where she's like, no.
There's no time at a subatomic level. And what's subatomic? Strings. And then she collapses.
It's going to be some bullshit like, he'll explain, see, gravity and relativity are the same thing. Space and time. And then Jolene...
And he'll be saying this as like he puts his hands behind his head and cocks his hip.
Yeah, exactly. So Jolene will be all like, you don't understand. Space and time are interlinked by waveforms, but my strings make waves. Right?
And that's
Something
why
like
we've
that.
been looking at waves on the beach the whole time.
Exactly. And so then she'll be all like, now I use...
And then she'll punch him in the head really hard.
Via like some tsunami bullshit, right? Like something that doesn't even let the waveform collapse.
So I guess I want to ask you, if you think Jotaro is going to die, is anyone else going to die?
Everyone dies, Liam.
Is anyone else going to die in the next episode?
Okay, all right.
I feel like they were putting up some pretty heavy death flags for Anasui with that.
Yeah.
Let me marry your daughter, please.
Yeah, well,
please let me marry your daughter.
Well, I said to you when we were watching, it's like, oh, one of these two is going to die now because they're really laying it on.
Yeah.
So I think Anasui will have a death, and then Jolene will be like, it's a shame
Anasui is like a cockroach. You can't keep him down.
Actually, maybe he won't die, but I want to say he'll die. Hermes has to die.
Why?
Hermes has to. She just has to die. She has to. Pistachio will live so that he can be like,
You're not going to kill a kid, are
yeah.
you?
Well, fuck yeah, he would. But he'll have like his epilogue of like, so what are you gonna do now? And he'll be like, I don't know. I've lived in a prison my whole life.
I'm gonna go back to prison.
But the ghost one, which is nice and fun, he'll be like, oh, what are you gonna do, Anasui? I'm half dead. I don't know.
So that they were all in prison at the start, but the real prison that Pistachio was in was prison. But there was a second metaphorical prison that he was also in, which is his fear of the outside world.
Ah, wise. Yeah, I reckon.
Okay, and what's going to happen to Jolene?
I reckon Jolene will be scarred, traumatized.
Yep.
But she'll persevere.
She'll be like, my dad died, and all my friends. I'm going to become a marine biologist.
Well, I reckon she'll be like, right, I need to turn my life around by committing some serious crimes.
Oh, okay. She's going to become a yakuza.
Yeah, exactly. Well, maybe not a yakuza, but like a
Kazuma Kiryu.
Well, some kind of American gangster being like, I've seen enough crime that I'm going to be better. But nah, fuck that. I've gotten revenge on everyone. Crime feels pretty good.
Moral of the story is crime doesn't pay. And then she cruises off in her Lamborghini.
And she just does what she wants now. It's like, I feel like a bagel. Steal from the bagel.
The problem is we don't have, I feel like with Josuke and Jotaro, I guess not so much with Jono. I mean, we don't really have as clear a picture of what Jolene's life was like prior to going to prison. Like, she didn't get along with her dad, who was pretty absent.
We know that she was pretty innocent-minded, though. Like,
she was comparatively innocent-minded.
Yeah, she was very like,
she had been in trouble with the law before, but her whole characterization pre going to prison was A, being an unruly daughter of Jotaro, and B, being in love with Romeo-chan. Whereas with Jotaro, we knew he was
a punk.
But he was a punk who would only pick fights with people who picked fights with him.
Yeah.
He put himself in prison to protect other people.
Wait, Jotaro?
Yeah, from the evil spirit.
That's true. That is true. He was a punk with a heart of gold.
Yeah.
He was a troublemaker that could make some friends.
So, yeah, the hard part about predicting where Jolene goes next is like, what else has she got going on?
She hasn't even got the car anymore. You know? The car got wrecked. Like, that's it. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe she'll just kind of be like, I'm going to never have a child because I've seen the problems that it creates.
Yeah, no more Joestars.
No more Joestars. The lineage ends here with me. Although everyone now has a star on their back, so fuck that, right?
Not everyone.
Actually, why did they have stars on their backs?
Because Father Pucci ate the green baby, which was Dio's legacy.
Yep.
And Dio had Jonathan's body.
Yep. But why did Weather Report?
Because they were twins.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And twins have the same birthmark.
But why did Father Pucci have the birthmark?
Because he ate the baby.
Right, okay. I'm seeing it now. I'm seeing it now. So because they share the same blood.
Yeah.
Even though, just based on genetics, like, they're not twins.
Dio had the birthmark.
I know Dio had the birthmark, but when he got the birthmark from eating the green baby,
yeah,
Weather Report does look quite different.
They can be fraternal twins,
I guess, but man, they look very different.
Yes. They were raised in very different circumstances.
They were. I mean,
nature versus nurture.
Yeah, I mean, where's Aquamarine got a very different
supernature versus nature.
Ooh, supernature. Anyway, yeah, I got no idea what Jolene's going to do afterwards.
Well, we'll find out all of that and more next time on Jojo's World.
Yay!
2 episodes left, Nick. Better get working on that theme music.
Oh, God. Literally every single time I try to make it, I'm like, this is garbage. I'm just going to have to make something completely unrelated to the part at this point.
So we need to start having some thoughts about what's next for Jojo's World, too.
Because we've only got 2 episodes left.
I feel like we should go back to Bubblegum Crisis and finish that up. But beyond that, I have no specific plans.
Okay.
I think it would be nice to do some Western type stuff.
Ooh.
Which is to say Westerns.
Right.
Not Western cartoons.
That's what I thought.
Yeah. Because, we've talked broadly about what Part 7 is in the past, and that would be a good lead into that.
We could watch The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly.
No. That's like 3.5 hours long.
Yeah, it's so good.
I also think it's probably worth us checking out, at least in a limited sense, Gundam Witch, because that is what if Gundam was Utena.
Ooh. Oh, is this the one that you were saying was directed by the same people?
Oh, it's got some common creatives. I don't remember exactly who and how.
Hell yeah. We gotta watch at least some of Barky, just so you can go,
Oh, yeah, sure.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Hell yeah.
Also, not really using Twitter anymore, so on account of the continued degradation of both service and community. So don't really bother adding us on at Jojo's podcast there anymore. I'll make a Blue Sky account for it eventually. But until then, I guess if you want to get in touch, Jojo's podcast. What is it? Jojo'sWorld@gmail.com? Jojo's podcast@gmail.com? One of those.
Let me go have a quick gander.
I've also heard good things about Golden Kamui.
Oh, the bear one?
The bear one.
Dude, yes. Please. Can we watch the bear? Can we watch the bear? That terrible, terrible CGI bear.
We can only hope.
Yes.
Jojo's podcast@gmail.com.
This is how professional we are.
It's been a while since we've needed the Gmail.
It's true.
We've had Twitter for our listener correspondence, but now we don't.
Now we have X.
Yeah, get on Blue Sky with me, Liam, at the coveted One Face handle. Oneface.bluesky.social or whatever the default slug is.
Wait, is that your actual
Yeah, I'm
handle?
One Face.
Amazing.
On account of the two half faces that I have.
Oh my god, yes. I can't believe you did it.
I got the coveted handle. I'm Harvey Dent. One Face.
I just love the idea of like, oh, there's no way any of us are ever going to get these cool handles. And then it's like, hey, Twitter's gone down the drain. Does anyone want to take One Face?
And it also accurately represents my persona because I am without guile.
Wise.
I'm more of a Ryu guy.
You're more of a Ryu guy. You're like, yes, this has been a great correspondence between us.
Yeah.
And then there's me who's just like, hi, lol, bye. And that's it.
Oneface.busky.social. That's me. And until then, to be continued.